Hello guys, I hope you're all doing great. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for your support. I really do appreciate. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Nancy. Kindly subscribe, share and like my videos. Thank you. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this lovely shift dress, and I'll be using two different African print fabric. So the fabric on this table is for the back panel of the dress. Yeah, I have the fabric folded into two. To get the accurate wideness of the fold, you take the measurements from the center back down to wherever you want the sleeve length to stop. The first step is to place the tape from the starting line to mark the hip line, which is 25 inches. The length of the dress is 36 inches with 1.5 inches hem allowance, and that is 37.5 inches altogether. Now I'll focus on the neckline and the shoulder slope. Here I will use a neck width of 3.5 inches, but for a large size person, you can make use of 4 inches. So since this is for the back panel, I'll use a neck depth of 1.5 inches. So the measurement from the center back down to the sleeve length is 15 inches. Then you add 1 inch seam allowance, and that will be 16 inches altogether. So on this 16 inches point, I'll mark 2.5 inches below the line. Then I'll connect the point to the neck width. The next measurement is the sleeve opening, and the sleeve opening for this client is 16 inches, and I divided by 2, and that's 8 inches. I'll place the tape below the 2.5 inches point I marked initially to mark 8 inches. The sleeve opening shouldn't be too tight because it's a shift dress. Now I'll connect the points together. The next step is to mark the hip circumference, which is 36 inches divided by 4, and that is 9 inches. Then I'll add about 3 inches seam allowance because it isn't a fitted dress. Now I'll use a straight ruler to connect this point straight down to the hem. Then I'll extend the line to the sleeve opening as shown. Now you should use a curve ruler to get the armhole shape. Now we have achieved the back panel. The next step is to place the back panel on the other fabric to guide us in cutting the front panel. So this is the fabric for the front panel. I'll start by folding it into two. Now I'll reel out 2 inches zip allowance from the fold for the center of the front panel. The next step is to place the back panel on the fold starting from the zip allowance. So the back panel is placed on the fold as a guide to trim out the front panel. So now we have to focus on the neckline for the front panel. So let's take a neck depth of 4.5 inches. Now to achieve the neck slit, I'll mark 2.5 inches from this point. Now I'll use the scissors to trim out the neckline as shown. Alright guys, I hope you haven't forgotten that there is a zipper in front of this dress. So the next step is to open the center of the fold. Using a bias tape for the neckline will be very difficult because of the shape it has. So the next thing is to cut a facing for both the front and the back panel. Always make sure that your dress facing is equal for both the front and the back. To achieve this, I'll place the tape on the front facing to mark the width. Here I have 2.5 inches. Then I'll mark the width of the back facing to 2.5 inches. Then I'll also mark the length as 2.5 inches. Then I'll connect the points together. So let's get started with the sewing. At this stage, I'll place the right side of the front panel against the right side of the back panel as shown. Then you take this to your sewing machine to secure the shoulder loop. For the facing, I use the soft gum sleeve to gum the wrong side of the fabric so it relaxes well after sewing. Now I'll take this to the sewing machine to secure the width of the facing by half an inch. Now I've secured the shoulder loop for the dress and I've also secured the facing. So this is the facing. Obviously I also overlocked the edges of the facing. Now I'll place the facing to fit the neckline of the dress, then I'll pin all through. Now you should take this to the sewing machine to attach the facing to the dress. Since it's a dress without a lining, I overlocked the edges of the zip allowance. This zip can actually be sewn in two ways. You can decide to place the fabric on the zip to sew, so it shows just the teeth of the zip. Or you can place the zip on the fabric, then you sew the zip on it. Obviously, the zipper is not as long as the dress, so you have to sew a little inches from the zipper allowance at the bottom. So I'll just go in a bit like this. Now I'll take this to the sewing machine to secure the little inches I marked at the bottom. So this is how it should be after securing the zipper allowance. So the next step is to attach the zipper to the dress. Firstly, you have to fold the top stop carefully inside the zipper allowance as shown. Then you pin the zipper all through, making sure that there is a little distance between the zipper and the ankara, so the ankara doesn't affect the movement of the zipper. Now I'll fold the top stop of the other tape carefully. Now you should take this to the sewing machine to secure the edges of the zipper. The next step is to trim out the patches for the front panel. The fabric is folded into two, so I will mark a length of 5 inches. The midpoint is 2.5 inches. So on this 2.5 inches point, I'll mark 4 inches horizontally. Now you connect the 3 points in form of a triangle. Then you trim out. So I'll place this patch on the fabric to cut out about 5 patches, so it will be 6 patches altogether. Yeah, I have the 6 patches and I used a soft gum stay to gum the back of the fabric. Then I also used the hot iron to fold the edges of the patches. Just make sure you iron the 6 patches like I did already. So this is the front panel of the dress. So I'll place the patches, making sure that I take some necessary measurements so it all aligns on the same line. So the distance between the zipper and the patches is 2 inches. Then I'll pin. So the distance between the shoulder and the patches is 9 inches. Now the distance between the patches itself should be 3 inches. The next step is to take this to the sewing machine to secure all the patches following the shape of the patch. After securing the patches, the next step is to secure the sleeve opening by folding half an inch and folding it further in by half an inch. The next step is to attach the side pockets. This pocket is very easy to cut and fix. All you need to do is to fold the fabric into two. Then you mark a width of 8 inches, which is the pocket opening. And you mark a length of 10 inches, which will be the length of the pocket. Now I'll curve the bottom of the pocket a little. So these two separate pieces just for a single pocket. Now I'll fold the other fabric into two, then I'll place the pocket on it to trim out. Now we can attach the pocket to the dress. So I have the dress here. I'll place the tape from the shoulder to mark the waistline. The waistline is actually 15 inches for this client, so I'll be adding 1 inch and that will be 16 inches. Then I'll mark. So the pocket will start 1 inch below the waistline. Now I'll notch the waistline for both the front and the back. And this will be a guide in attaching the pockets. So the next step is to place the pockets on the dress, facing the right side of the pocket to the right side of the dress, making sure that the curved part of the pocket is downwards. Then you sew the edge by half an inch. Now you repeat the same method for the 3 pockets. So this is how you should sew the sides together. Alright guys, this is the outcome of the dress. I've sewn the sides together. The final stage is to secure the hem. It's a really long tutorial for me because creating the video today, doing the voiceover wasn't really easy, editing and all that. I want to really appreciate you guys for your support because without you I wouldn't have gone this far. Thanks for watching, and if you are new to my channel, please subscribe, share and like my videos.